Great Thursday morning, May 14, 2020. To God be the glory for yet another opportunity to do his will, to experience his blessings, to be nourished with his rain. It's gorgeous out here, but we see that even though it's wet, it's soggy, little muddy, but the greenery is coming up. The flowers are blooming because we are being strengthened by the water. Yes, that the Lord fills. Isn't it something? And it covers this in Psalms 104, how the Lord perfectly puts a border on all the bodies of the water. It doesn't run over. I always just marveled at that, like the ends and the limits of the oceans and the seas. It doesn't overflow, right? Lake Michigan. We sometimes have had water go out into Lakeshore Drive, but they're always in place. God is in control as far as his creation. And you see that all in Psalms 104, how he has set the trees and the vegetation for food, how he's made the wheat and the oil. It even talks about the natural elements of wine. And I know there are a lot of people who are using alcohol as a coping mechanism. They're using the herb of the earth, taking a hit. And you'll see that in the Bible, there is no mention of thou shalt not take a hit. But we know that it is not God's will for us to abuse any of his creation, right? Because that makes us become unbalanced. And then we set up idols in our life. And then when we do not make the Lord our source of our strength, and when that runs out and we can't get more of the substance, whoo, yeah. You're talking about our life falling apart. The Lord wants us to look to him. He wants us to return unto him when these times are occurring in our lives, hard times. We're in Jer.24, and in verse 6 and 7, it's a promise from the Lord. It says, I will set my eyes upon them for good. He's talking about his people who are about to go into Babylon, into captivity. But there still was a promise from the Lord. He said, I will bring them again to this land. I will bring them back to good times. I will build them and not pull them down. I'm going to construct them. I'm going to design them. I'm going to refine them. I'm going to shape them unto my will. And I will plant them and not pluck them. Yeah, a lot of us are doing gardening right now. The Lord wants us to be structured and strengthened and planted and to bloom where he has placed us. And I will give them a heart to know me, that I am the Lord, and they shall be my people. This is the reason for captivity and perhaps a coronavirus or a pandemic. In the meantime, he wants us to return unto him with our whole hearts. That's in verse 7. Yes. And it opens up how the Lord showed Jeremiah a good fig and a bad fig, like baskets of figs. And we want to be the good figs. We want to be the ones who are ready and ripe to do God's work. In Psalms 104:23, it talks about how man goes to labor out to do their work, and then they return back unto evening to enjoy the riches and the blessings and the faithfulness and to declare his works all day while we have breath. Let's enjoy, let's do the work of God, and let's flourish and nourish and help others to bloom where they're planted. Have a good